Hey guys, Dave here from Wolf in the Wild Survival, and this is part 4 of how to build your bug out bag. If you haven't seen the first 3 parts, I recommend that you stop here, go back to part 1, watch those videos, and then come back to this one so that you know what we've already talked about and things will probably make a little better sense. Once you get back to this one here, we'll get started. If you've already seen those parts, let's get started. Alright. So getting all your gear together, you want to consider the weight of everything that you are gathering up. A lot of people say you should carry a maximum of 10 or 20% of your weight in gear and whatever. Me personally, I know that I can do more than that. I do it constantly. But, I mean, that's really up to you to decide. How much weight can you carry? And if you don't really know, gather your stuff together and walk for a kilometer. How do you feel? How does it bother your feet or your knees or your back or, whatever? Figure out the amount of weight that you're comfortable with and try to stay within that margin. Now, I think I said it in a previous video, maybe not in this series, but I know I've said it before. Get your gear together before you buy the bag that you're going to put all the gear in. This way here, you know basically what you're working with. The weight of your bag is also a factor. And that is something that it took me a little while to kind of figure out as well, I guess. I have a load-bearing vest here and here. I have a small messenger bag here and various other assault packs and, kind of whatever. For the longest time, my main bag was a Molly 2 rucksack. Love this bag. This bag is almost bomb-proof. Okay? Awesome. Empty, weighs 15 pounds. Totally empty. It weighs 15 pounds. That is the bag, the frame, the belt, a couple of, what are those, canteen pouches, a sustainment pouch, and so on and so forth. Take all the pouches off and just use the bag, the frame, and the belt. It's about 12 pounds. So, fairly heavy bag. The bag that I use now is a Canadian 82 pattern rucksack. Empty, weighs 5 pounds. Still kind of heavy for just a bag, but 10 pounds lighter than the Molly 2, so a lot easier for me to carry around. For those of you who might not be sure, 10 pounds is like a bag of potatoes generally, so might not weigh a lot all by itself. Add another 30 or 40 pounds on top of that. Do you want to carry like 45 pounds or do you want to carry 55, 60 pounds? It's up to you. Now, keeping with the idea of watching your weight and adding in a concept of versatility, try to get items that have more than one use. Certain things you're just not going to be able to get away from. This item is one use only. Bic lighter, get a fire going. Okay, fine. That is what it is. There are items that you are going to be able to acquire that have multiple uses, and it will lighten your load and make your kit more versatile. A good example, okay, let's say a cover element, a tarp, as well as a decent rain suit. You don't want to get yourself soaking wet in a rainstorm, because you could get hypothermic even in the summertime if the weather turns for the worse for too long. You take those two concepts, you slam them together, you've got the military GI poncho. Right there, you have a rain suit and you have a cover element. Perfectly good for both. Add in a poncho liner, you've also got a sleeping bag, which is part of your cover element in your something to sleep in, under, and on. So there and there, you've got some versatility with that. You could also use the poncho liner to collect water in a rainstorm or certain other situations, depending on your skill set. You can use it as a sunshade, obviously. I mean, the list goes on and on, but you don't necessarily need to carry a tarp and, you know, a rain suit, and especially those PVC ones, because they weigh a lot, even though they are fairly robust. They do weigh a lot. So try to have items that are useful in a number of situations instead of just a one-use item, kind of whatever. Now, in a previous video, I mentioned a survivalist / bushcrafter mindset where 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Double up on the important items. You have your EDC, which should include some sort of a combustion tool, like a Bic lighter. You should also have a fire kit in your pack that also includes, say, a Bic lighter. And if you have room somewhere or other that you could jam another Bic lighter, another ferro rod in, kind of whatever, go ahead. Double up on important items whenever possible, especially if they are small, lightweight items that don't take up a lot of space. Focus. Try not to go overboard on items, though. Doubling up is fine on certain things, but you can go overboard totally unintentionally and have this pack that just weighs way more than it actually needs to weigh. When you factor in everything that you're going to need to sustain yourself, to maintain, hydration, reasonable health, and comfort, and, kind of whatever, it's so easy to make a pack that there's no way that you're going to be able to carry for very long without extreme difficulty. And you're not really going to know that until you're in the situation where you are trying to do that. It's part of the reason why I say get out and use it as much as you possibly can. Have fun with it, but learn. Going overboard on items is just so easy. That's part of the reason also I say get your items and then buy the bag. Because when you buy something like this here, the Molly 2 rucksack, probably the biggest bag that I own. My need, I guess you could call it, my penchant to try to fill it. It got so heavy, laden down with gear. So try not to go overboard on getting together everything that you think you're going to need. I mean, a lot of people out there are minimalists and they try to go into the woods with as small a thing as they can and make do, and that's just fine. I mean, I've done it myself. I've had fun with it and whatever. But in a really bad situation where I can't just go home whenever I want to have my needs met, and I'm going to want to have some comfort items, but I'm not going to want to have so much that I can't carry it from point A to point B if I absolutely have to. Now, I know I mentioned this before, but I feel that it's important enough for me to mention it again because it fits into this video concept as well. Go for rechargeable instead of battery operated, kind of, you know, take your Duracells out of the package and slam them in and go. You can, say, utilize your cell phone, your radio, your whatever it is throughout the day and then charge it at night with some battery packs. Alternatively, you can use your headlamps and your flashlights and what have you at night and then recharge them in the daytime with your battery packs or whatever. Fact of the matter is, it's just so much more convenient, less weight and less space to get rechargeable and not carry around a whole bunch of batteries to keep all of your electronic devices charged and ready to go. On top of that, you should have a decent solar panel. Alright guys, so that's basically it for part 4. Once again, I hope you got something out of it. I hope it didn't bore you too much, you know, a little bit enjoyable. And I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, stay wild.